A spotlight hits the stage. A tenor's voice echoes through the grand hall. But in the shadows, a letter arrives at his door. Pay us, or we'll destroy your voice forever. This isn't a scene from a movie. It's the chilling reality of the world's first recording star, Enrico Caruso. And his story is just the beginning of a century-long nightmare where music, opera, and ballet weren't just about art, but about crime, power, and blood. Enrico Caruso was the voice of an era, a poor boy from Naples who rose to become the Metropolitan Opera's shining star in early 1900s New York. His voice sold millions of records worldwide, making him the world's first true musical superstar. He lived in luxury, adored by audiences everywhere. But behind that fame lurked a shadow. In 1904, Caruso began receiving letters at his elegant New York townhouse. The messages were chilling. Threats to kidnap his family, destroy his face, and even poison his voice with lies slipped into his tea. The letters were signed by the Black Hand, a ruthless extortion ring terrorizing immigrants in major U.S. cities. At first, Caruso paid. He handed over stacks of cash, hoping they'd leave him alone. But like feeding a monster, the more he gave, the hungrier they became. Soon, he was trapped, a prisoner of his own fame. By 1910, Caruso couldn't take it anymore. He turned to the NYPD, who launched a risky sting operation. Detectives posed as intermediaries, luring the gangsters into a trap. 2 members were arrested, but the victory was hollow. Caruso's life was forever changed. He would never again appear in public without a bodyguard, haunted by the knowledge that the Black Hand could strike at any moment. Caruso's ordeal was only the tip of the iceberg. Across America, mobsters presented themselves as patrons of the arts. They managed clubs where jazz legends like Louis Armstrong performed. They offered protection to crooners like Bing Crosby, but that protection came at a cost. Contracts were signed in blood, not ink. Some artists even welcomed the mob, mistaking its brutality for opportunity. But in this world, favors always came with chains attached. Over time, the connections became undeniable. The Genovese crime family secretly owned entire record labels. Ballet companies like Moscow's Bolshoi were engulfed in bribery and violence. In 2013, the acid attack on Bolshoi's artistic director Sergei Filin exposed the venomous rivalries behind the graceful facade of ballet. And in Paris, history revealed that the Paris Opera Ballet once operated like a high-class brothel for its patrons, a tradition of exploitation stretching back centuries. The pattern was clear. Art, when starved of funding, became a feast for predators. And those who made deals with criminals, from Caruso to modern-day opera stars linked to trafficking scandals, learned the same cruel lesson. Once you invite darkness in, it never truly leaves. Today, the ties between organized crime and the arts are quieter, but not gone. The allure of glamour still hides corruption, and behind every standing ovation, there may still be a hand reaching from the shadows. Because in the performing arts, as history has shown, the most beautiful stages can hide the darkest secrets.